How to knit Fair Isle. Fair Isle is a colour changing technique which involves alternating between 2 or more colours of yarn in each row to create a pattern on the right side of the fabric. The strand of yarn at the back is called a float. It's important that you keep these loose, or your work won't lay flat. Your pattern may include a chart that will allow you to see more clearly which stitch to work in which colour for each row. Start reading your Fair Isle chart from the bottom right-hand corner. The chart will indicate the stitches and rows. Carefully follow the count on the chart when working your Fair Isle pattern to ensure the finished work matches the chart. In this tutorial, we'll work in stocking stitch, knitting all odd-numbered rows and purling the even rows. Follow your pattern until the first row with the Fair Isle instructions start. Knit until you reach the first colour change. Insert your right needle into the next stitch, then wrap your contrast colour yarn around the tip of your needle and bring the loop through to the front of your work. You have now completed your first stitch in the contrast colour. Work as many stitches in the contrast colour as your pattern requires. When reaching the next colour change in your pattern, you will wrap your original colour yarn around the tip of the needle and bring it through to the front of your work. This will create the float on the back. Ensure the float is not pulled tight, or your work will pucker later on and not allow for any stretch. Continue knitting according to your chart, switching colours when needed, until you reach the end of your row. When picking up the new colour on a knit stitch, lay the new colour over the yarn tail of the last stitch, then continue with the new colour to create the new stitch. Top tip: when you have to carry the yarn over 8 or more stitches at the back, it is best to twist your yarns together to secure the float on the wrong side. When working on the wrong side of your project, you'll have the floats facing you. Continue switching colours according to your chart and keep the floats facing you on the wrong side of your work. When picking up the new colour on a purl stitch, you will again lay it over the working yarn of the last stitch, then continue with the new colour to create the next purl stitch. Top tip: when changing colours at the beginning of a row, You will create a twist to ensure the new yarn is on top before you start your first stitch in the new colour. You can now work Fair Isle patterns.